Chapter 6 Alpha's tragic past and it vanishes. There was never any field. As Marcus Aurelius fell through his nightmares, as Alpha, shadow of Erebus decided, and all he decides happens, and him, a literal living shadow on the wall, watches Marcus Aurelius fall. The ground rushes up to meet Marcus, but he doesn't hit it. Instead, he finds himself in a new reality, a reality that is the dark reflection of his own. The once golden fields are now barren and scorched, the sky an ominous red, and the air thick with the stench of sulfur. The very fabric of this world seems to pulse with malevolence, and Marcus knows that he is deep within the heart of Alpha's domain.
Alpha then begins speaking, but not as the shadow of Erebus, but now as just a small child. And Marcus Aurelius notices that very same small child, crying in front of two dead adults, presumably their parents, as war occurs around them. And Marcus Aurelius realizes this must actually be a memory of Alpha's. The child's sobs echo through the desolate landscape, each one a manifestation of the pain and anger that fuels Alpha's power. Marcus approaches, his own heart aching at the sight of such innocence corrupted by war and loss. He reaches out a hand, not to fight, but to comfort. The memory then shifts to Alpha later on as the Shadow God, swearing to change existence itself to rid it of war and segregation and all other bad things. Then shifts to God Emperor Marcus Aurelius reversing, time preventing him from reaching his full potential. Then the next time he does after flying off into space, and he rules a space empire until he finds that no good comes of it, then abandons it, then flashes forwards to after he had taken over Aldrich's body. And Aldrich has also been there and watching the entire time as he experiences Aldrich's family and feels true rage at the cruel God Emperor's family surviving just fine while his innocent civilians were murdered right in front of him as a child, and then him swearing to bring about absolute vengeance by killing all of their family. Then the memories flash to him using Aldrich's body, secretly killing all of the God Emperor's families, starting with Aldrich's mother. Then the memories flash back to Alpha as a small child before his dead parents as he awakens his dark and shadow magic and is deemed a demon for them and hunted down. Eventually, the two empires even send their entire armies after him, leading to him awakening his tendrils of darkness and exclaiming, "Why you really think of me as a monster this much? Why you want me to be a monster so badly? Fine, if you want me to be a monster so badly, then I'll be exactly the monster you want of me." As he cries tears of blood, before he then transforms into a monster, but one that is still clearly human, and wipes out the attacking soldiers, then executing the general, who had mercilessly murdered his innocent civilian parents right before his eyes. The scene then returns to the present, as Marcus's hand touches the child form Alpha's shoulder, his eyes filled with a mix of pity and determination. "You do not have to be this," Marcus whispers, his voice cutting through the cacophony of the twisted reality. "You can choose a different path, one of redemption and peace." The child version of Alpha looks up at him, his blood-red eyes glowing, as he shifts into an adult version of himself. "I seek to fundamentally change existence so that war and strife, and segregation and pain, and so that genocidal warlords like you God Emperors no longer exists. You are the problem here." Alpha screams out at the two God Emperors. Marcus Aurelius's heart clenches at the raw emotion in Alpha's voice. He understands the pain of losing everything and the desire to prevent others from suffering the same fate. However, he also knows that vengeance is not the path to true peace. "You're right, Alpha," Marcus admits, his voice steady. "There is much suffering in the world, but by becoming what you despise, you only perpetuate the cycle." Alpha then sighs, the intense rage still apparent in just the sigh. "In order to build a better world, one must burn the old one down," Alpha says as a dark fire covers the area around them, still within their currently shared mind, including all of the problem individuals of it, such as you genocidal warlord only obsessed with more, and more power and control and only caring about yourself. Alpha screams at God Emperor Marcus Aurelius again, who can't help but honestly agree with him and his logic.